fucking raining bugs in your house?
Yeah.
Is this another plague?
It is.
Be set upon the meat hall.
Yeah. They're weird, like fucking gnats that don't fly.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it is. They weren't here yesterday. Suddenly today, they're just magically showing up. Just magically showing up today.
Sorry, that got on me.
Yeah, I can't have that. Have a little small bug on you.
I can't be bothered with that shit.
I don't mind as long as I don't get in my fucking beer.
God. Thankfully, I had an empty one.
Yeah.
Ball dress right there.
Yeah. It's always something. It's always something
dude.
around here.
I am almost lethargic. My energy for shit outside of things that just bring me personal great joy, I don't do.
Right.
I don't have the fucking energy or positivity to put that shit out.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. We're doing this this podcast as we picked it up, started doing them every Friday again back in March when, everybody's thinking the world's going to end and, coronavirus is around and, and it's supposed to kill, 1/5 of the world's population or some shit, pure lies.
The new plague. The new plague.
Yeah, which it never really materialized. And now we can completely forget about that because now everybody's enraged and race riots and things of that nature. But we don't have to wear masks anymore because clearly that shit's over. So
yeah, the enforcement here in the area has not been, well, what you would say enforced. I have a mask that my job gave me because I have to wear one when I'm at the desk. Beauty of my life is working nights. I'm rarely at the desk, if at all. So the mask is more decoration and way too fucking small for my head.
Oh yeah,
because they're all made for women with
right.
small heads.
Yeah, well, I guess the good news is if you're trying to find that one little shard of good news out of all of that is that you have the broadest face of anybody at your job.
Thank you.
It'd be a little bizarre if you had women that had bigger faces than yours.
There was one, but it was more because you cocksucker. It was more because a weight issue.
Yeah.
Because when you gain weight, you're going to gain it in certain spots. You're not going to gain it all over unless your DNA is just uncommon.
Sure.
She gained it all in her face. Looked like she had the body of a woman that was about 5'9", weighed about $170. Not what you'd call obese, in my opinion.
Right.
But probably 30 pounds of that was head.
Wow.
And it was amazing. She had a head bigger than mine. I put my fucking hat that I'm wearing today on her head and wouldn't fit.
Wow. That's bizarre.
I feel like if I really tried, it would have, but I didn't want to fuck my shit up.
Man, that's almost unheard of for chicks to have heads that goddamn big.
Yeah. You know what to say about chicks with big heads, right?
No.
Me neither.
Nope. Don't even really want to know.
Yeah, it's I think it's like a genetic disease of some sort.
You catch a lot of dudes like fucking my age and older, and they get like really fat faces. But you know what they do for a living? They do nothing but drink. That's all they do.
Yeah.
And if you're an alcoholic, that's where it goes. It goes right in your face.
It's kind of funny how that works.
Yeah.
The face first.
Yeah, kind of.
Is that just like water retention? Because it's hard to get a fat face.
Yeah, but if I see somebody like say in their mid 50s or whatever, early 50s, and I take a look at them, I can probably figure out if you showed like three of them to me, I can figure out which one's an alcoholic. You know?
Yeah.
That's the kind of game show you need to introduce right there.
Yeah, no shit. I'd be able to tell by like their eyes.
Yeah,
there's always something in the eyes if they're a little yeller.
Well, and they're also
bulgy.
And they also usually carry some bags under their eyes as well.
Right.
You know? I mean, there are certain telltale signs. But
mine comes from being tired and world weary.
Well, I guess that's the one thing I guess I can be happy about is that my eyes hadn't gone playing tricks on me yet. But
yeah.
But anyway, we've been banging this out since March. Went back to right immediately after, within a month or month and a half after saying we aren't going to do this shit every Friday.
After initiating Plan 2020,
man,
fuck that shit. Hit Plan done.
It's fucked. I
Yeah,
don't.
everything's fucked.
It's so bizarre and weird, and you can't even fucking make it up. I mean, if you were to tell me back in January, well, yeah, no, this weird pandemic hit. Oh yeah. Yeah, followed up by like some cops killing fucking people of color, and then everybody rises up and violence in the streets. Like, yeah, and then what? And then murder hornets, and then it's like, yeah, and then what? I mean, it'd be like, well, what are you fucking pulling off? You're like,
there are a whole bunch of earthquakes at Yellowstone as well.
they're talking about that.
Damn.
If the big one hits, man, you're going to see a depopulation of about 1/3 of the western United States.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I was looking at the primary ash zone that they would figure, because it's a volcano, is what it's a super volcano,
Right.
that would hit at the same time as the big one,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So those two things are connected.
And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either. But apparently the primary ash zone would go all the way from Yellowstone all the way to include Denver. And the second ash zone, we'd be right on the edge of it, but down where we're at, but. Still, it's
wow, man,
that's
fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
it doesn't sound crazy though right now.
No.
You know,
no, nothing does.
It sounds almost plausible.
If you were to tell me that there's like a weird fucking like 1930s coupe and it's full of clowns running around with Uzis whacking people, I'd say, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, I'll keep my guard up.
Yeah.
Oh man, glad I don't live in Lander. That's directly fucking. You head northwest from Lander and you hit Yellowstone.
Yeah. No, it's the entire state of Wyoming be basically wiped off the map. But
God damn.
Yeah.
Well, let's change the subject.
Yeah. Well, I'm just to bring more peace and harmony to all of you, right?
God, man. Oh shit.
2020, fun times, man.
I don't fucking know anymore. I don't get it.
But it is weird times, and just now suddenly a whole bunch of white people found out they're black people and they're oppressed, and so then that's been nothing but the news going on for a week now, and it's and look, man, I get it. This country should have been doing a fuckload better than they had been, but they haven't. We haven't as a people.
When you have Roger Goodell come out today and acknowledge that the NFL handled racism in their league poorly.
Oh yeah,
this is a point of change.
Sure,
something will change.
Right. The only problem I have are woke white females of privilege, generally ones that jump on causes, but then running around and calling everybody basically if you don't agree with everything they say. Not even just on matters of race relations or anything of that nature. If you disagree with them on anything in general, then you are a racist. That we've reached that stage where white chicks can basically call you out for being a racist even if you're not. Just simply by implying that maybe they should go get a job, and then suddenly, you're clearly a racist for telling them to go out.
Obviously, you hate everybody.
And like, well, you got that degree from Texas Tech. Why aren't you using it?
I've seen a few. I've seen a few. The rare occasion I'll check out my Facebook.
Having anybody getting angry at you for not changing up your profile picture on Tuesday?
I got bullied.
Yeah.
I got bullied by this fucking guy.
Some bullying is okay, right? So that's where we're at now. It's like, some bullying is okay, but other bullying is not.
No, because that's not what I was taught in school. I was taught bullying was bad and to go tell my teacher.
Yeah.
Problem is, I can't go tell that bitch because she dead.
Yeah.
It didn't exist to begin with. So, yeah, they had the whole Blackout Tuesday thing, which I was like, I get it. Sure. If you want to shut shit down, you shut it down.
Sure.
Me, I don't use the goddamn thing to begin with.
Right.
So it's shut down already. For me to change the picture would mean I'm using it, and that's just not. I've never used Facebook at the rate everybody else does. So I get a little messenger ding, and I look at my phone, and it's a picture of someone's like, what the fuck is that? Who is this person sending me a message? It was this buddy of mine from my old bar days that I was still friends with on Facebook.
Oh, that's the operative term.
Oh, absolutely. And so he messaged like, so bro, why didn't you change your profile picture to a black image? Like, because I don't really use my Facebook unless somebody dies or it's the anniversary of a death.
Right.
That's really all I use it for, to change my picture when someone I care about dies, be it in the entertainment business or personally, or celebrate the anniversary of said death. And the occasional like of like someone talking shit on there. It's pretty good. He didn't accept that as an answer, even though I'd answered his question. That was the answer. He didn't accept it. Said, well, it doesn't take that long to do that, and if all you do is change your picture anyway, why can't you just change it to that and get behind the cause? I'm like, I don't use Facebook at all.
Right.
If the message is to just go socially dark, I'm already doing that.
Sure.
I've been doing that for months.
Oh, yeah.
And he basically just start fucking questioning like, oh, well, and this was he's a Latin American bro. Someone that, again, I was friends with when I was working at the bar. Wasn't really close after that because he moved to Albuquerque. And just like kind of was checking my white privilege.
Because you refused to change your Facebook profile photo?
Because I told him, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to use it. I will stick to that standard of fucking not using it like everybody else.
It's a childish fucking move, dude. I mean, look, I can get behind the sentiment behind it, but when you start trying to tell other people that that's what they need to do or whatever, it reminds me a lot of different things you'd encounter, I don't know, in high school. Like, say, Pride Week, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're all going to wear the same shirts tomorrow. Well, it's the same thing. I mean, I get it. That's your only means of showing solidarity is on a social media platform. Check your fucking self.
Yeah. There's a lot of self-hating white people out there now.
Oh yeah, I mean it's fine. It's that white guilt, knowing our forefathers basically just fucked an entire race of people for hundreds of years, and we let it go until the year 2020, which is convenient if you're willing to overlook the racial tensions we had 2018, 2017, and again in 2016, 2014, 2011, 2010 or 2009, I forget, but it's every couple of years,
right?
That pot reaches a boiling point, and you let the steam go ahead and clear the hell out, and then let it reset, and then we'll get back together again in 2 years when more people make bad decisions.
Well, shit, man, if there hadn't been someone nearby with a camcorder, there would have never been the rage for the Rodney King thing.
Right. No, it's always
the fact that people could see it happen.
That's the thing.
They feel like they're there, witnessing it as well. So, and now everything's recorded.
Right.
Shit, there are doorbells that have cameras on them.
Oh, sure.
Nothing will escape, especially if cop escalated anything. There will be cameras. It will be filmed.
That's the important distinction, too. You can't go run around saying every cop is an asshole. You can't. Certainly there are some.
No.
There's no denying that.
Oh, yes.
But just like with anything, every occupation, every fucking religion, every job, every across the board, everybody's got their assholes you've got to deal with.
Yeah, sure.
This thing is kind of a weird move where they're really trying to, I saw this one jackass. He's the that kid that survived the school. Well, actually, it turns out he wasn't even in school that day. That hog kid that was down in Florida.
Oh, yeah, I recall.
Out there, and he's trying to say, get rid of all the cops. Like, really? So you want people to have no guns, and you also want no cops. So, what is your plan then when they come when the fucking hordes gather at your door?
Yeah, armed with blades and calling for your soul.
Yeah.
Who are you going to call? Not the cops.
Ghostbusters, right? That's about
right.
it.
You're calling Bill Murray. Yeah, I mean, I'm fucking 100% behind this change.
Sure.
Shit needs to change. It needs to change quick, and it's something that can change quick. It's
Absolutely.
not like policies, this will take years to implement. Fuck that, man. You can start implementing this shit tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, I'm fucking behind it. Just because I don't wear a ribbon or a shirt, or I'm on Facebook every fucking day championing the cause, doesn't mean I'm not behind it at all.
No.
Because what am I going to do? Tell the 50 fucking people? Half of those are accounts, Facebook accounts that are like bands and shit. It's like maybe I would reach a total of 8 people.
Right.
Problem is, those 8 people have already told me about it.
Sure.
So I know it's like the cycle is complete. There is no one I'm going to be able to reach. Fucking go get them. Let's shut this shit down. But I'm not going to be bullied into doing fuck all nothing.
But
dude.
it's a very juvenile approach. It's like, you have to show us that you're on the same team. We're in the same clique. We're in the same, whatever the case might be. And it's sad that we kind of have to have it, that we've reached that point, because then you got some dumb white people that are saying, but all lives matter. Well, you're missing the point of the argument. The argument is that not all lives can't matter until all lives actually matter. And right now, try to convince me that black lives actually matter among a great swath of American society, because you can't make that argument.
No.
And that's what it means. It doesn't mean fuck you or what. I mean, that's the thing. It is Black Lives Matter. It's not their fault that you heard only Black Lives Matter.
Well, anytime an atrocity hits a city like Vegas or Boston, it's Vegas strong, it's Boston strong. It ain't like, well, we're all strong. All our cities are strong.
Right. Well, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Somebody actually had a pretty good analogy and said, it'd be like a house catching fire, and the fire department shows up and starts watering down every house on the block instead of the one that's just on fire, It's like, because all houses matter, right? Well, right now, that one really, really matters with the one that's on fire. It's the same shit.
The all lives matter thing is just as ignorant and misguided as, oh, well, if you take down all the Confederate history stuff, you're taking down history. You're rewriting. You're changing history. You're ignoring it.
I think there's an element of the all lives matter thing that is racist. I don't think all of it is, because I think legitimately there are some people that just aren't very smart. You know? And
like Drew Brees.
And they don't. Well, there's that. But they just truly don't understand the ramifications of what the whole thing means. When you hear Black Lives Matter, it doesn't mean. I mean, how fucking weird are you that you've got to interject yourself into that and go, whoa, my life matters. Well, yeah, but it's not you that's at the fucking center. You're not the one being discriminated against and like basically systematically identified as being somebody. It removes all the individualism from it.
Sure.
And I think that this nation was really kind of built on hardened individuals doing great things. Well, now we're at the stage of groupthink. We've actually devolved.
Everybody wants that credit for doing the kick-ass thing.
It's like, I want you to look at me and tell me how great I am. I want the gold star on my paper, too.
I put a black profile picture up on Tuesday, which means I helped. I helped out. You didn't do shit. Yeah. You didn't do nothing.
Couldn't help but notice you didn't like when I changed my profile photo to just a black background.
I'm going to change my profile picture to a fucking shit-stained asshole and see who fucking comments then.
Meh.
And it might be mine. You never know. If I get drunk enough, you never know.
Ugh.
I'll say this. I think South Park...
I'll be unfollowing you for a period of a little bit.
That's all right. It'll be a temporary. It's fine. I think South Park nailed it years ago. One of the characters said to Token, and his name's Token because he's a black dude, Token black kid.
Sure.
He says to him, I understand that I will never understand.
Right.
People are saying that today among, like, when they get that picture with all the words on it.
Right.
That it's like, oh, those are my words. So now I'm gonna put that picture up, and that's me doing work.
Sure.
That's me helping the cause out.
Right.
And that one's popping up. It's like the I hear you thing.
Yeah.
I understand. I'll never understand. This is a mentality that's been around for probably about 15 years.
Oh yeah. No. I mean, that's the whole problem too, is because every time, thanks to social media, then you get people that are in their 20s and 30s, and this is maybe the first time they've really encountered anything of this scale. You mentioned Rodney King a while ago. Fuck, man, most of the people that are really, really throwing a fit, the white people, I should say, are they weren't even around back then.
Yeah.
Back in the early 90s.
A lot of these people up in arms haven't lived in a world where their opinion was so easily accessible to other people.
Right.
Without interaction in person.
Absolutely.
Damn, I never... God, shit.
But
maybe it is all going to hell.
But here's the other problem too: is that along with everything involving the fucking racism of all of this shit, it's the whole thing of trying to stifle the ability of a race in this country, of trying to convey what the problem is, and then you immediately get assholes. So if a business take example of which one was it? Was it It was Sweetwater. Fucking Sweetwater posted a thing. It's like, yeah, well, knowing what our nation is up against and everything else, we're always better together than apart and blah, blah, blah. So let's make this happen and everything else. And, let's recognize that there's an issue in our society when it comes to one race in particular.
Yeah.
You know, and we need to embrace that and figure out a way to fix it. Go down to the comments. Somebody's like, well, guess I ain't buying any gear from you anymore. It's like, wow, dude. Wow.
My beautiful songbird Maluka did the whole profile picture change.
Yeah.
I guarantee you she probably lost about 25% of her Facebook fan base.
Wow.
Because of it.
That's a lot of racists.
Yeah. God, man. It's amazing. It just, I almost got rid of that shit
Facebook?
on Tuesday. I almost did.
I actually did. I deactivated mine on Sunday. Within 30 minutes, promptly lost my goddamn phone. The only way I knew how to go about finding it was get a hold of Silka and have her call my phone so I can fucking locate the goddamn thing. So, yeah, my deactivation lasts all about 30 minutes. And then I thought, you know, fuck it. I've got to actually fire it back up again for Monday so I can do my job.
Right.
So I have to keep our social medias platforms up and everything else for my job. And I was like, well, fuck it. I'd have to turn right around tomorrow and start it up again. Fine. I'll just stay off of Facebook today. So that's what I did.
Honestly, the only reason I keep mine is because I'm friends with Dan Doherty and fucking Charlie Utter on Facebook. It's really the only reason why.
W. Earl Brown and
Dayton Cali. Yeah.
You like to call them by their fictional names.
By their real names.
Yeah.
Because it's so interesting to see their experiences, because W. Earl Brown lives in Cali.
Yeah.
Where it's an epicenter of rage right now.
Sure.
And Dayton Cali, he's just kind of like, man, the world's gone mad. At least I don't got the COVID. I'm doing good. Because that man has had some serious health issues.
Oh, yeah. You can look at him and tell that.
Yeah.
Man, that guy looked like death warmed over in Deadwood.
Yeah. And then come to find out that guy had cancer when he was filming it.
Wow.
That he got treated and beat, which kind of blew me away as well. So, I mean, shit like that, it's just kind of cool to have.
Right.
But for people I actually know, I would never keep Facebook for people I really know.
Right.
Everybody I fucking get to talk to and see in person, I get to talk to and see in person on a fairly regular basis. I don't need Facebook for that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, and I mean, once, with both my parents gone, I don't connect with my siblings except on Facebook, really. You know, and that's it.
Right.
There's no phone calls or anything of that nature. You know, it's maybe on my birthday I might hear from one or two of them, and that's cool. But other than that, the rest of it's all Facebook. You know, of like, hey, thumbs up or whatever, and shit like that. It's fine.
Well, Facebook fucking replaces interaction. It is now officially a recognized way to interact with people that is just as acceptable as you and I talking right now.
Well, and it's also, the funny thing is, it's the antithesis of what they said that really social media was supposed to be about, and that is to bring people together with different thoughts and ideas and blah, blah, blah. It's gone the other direction. It's about tearing people apart and making them splinter because they recognize their differences and they operate on that assumption rather than fucking putting aside all the bullshit and come together.
Sometimes those 3 a.m. thoughts are best left in your mind.
Yeah.
And back in the 90s, that's where they remain.
Absolutely.
Now, if it's 3 a.m. and you've had, a few Chardonnays or something, everybody's going to know what's on your mind.
Right.
It was never supposed to be that way.
Yeah. So, well, here's the other fucking thing to me that just weirds me out. Okay, going to get together, you're going to protest, you're going to walk up and down Central in Albuquerque and have John Jones fucking take your spray paint away from you or whatever. Cool. Awesome. I think that's great. But what's the weird thing about the people I keep seeing doing all the fucking damage to shit? There's a bunch of young white guys and chicks all of them had a fucking $1,200 check hit their bank account 2 months ago.
Church.
And they're the ones running around like, need new shit. And they're the ones breaking into stuff, destroying everything. The biggest amount of property damage is coming from those fucking idiots. It's certainly not from the people, the Black Lives Matter people that are protesting peacefully.
It's and I'll go back to the Rodney King shit. There was looting there pretty regular. But there were no other groups like, let's go to L.A. and get some looting done. See how things are falling into chaos there?
Right.
It was just a part of the chaos that came with that.
Man, that was a weird time. Because I was stationed at Camp Pendleton, air crew and everything else.
Yeah.
We actually were flying sorties over an American city. And that was the weirdest fucking thing to me. And we were positioned at basically the Air National Guard headquarters when we weren't fucking actually on detail, pretty much down at the downtown area centers, the Civic Center.
Man.
Yeah, we were on site for like 48 hours. I'm like, why do we have American military doing this shit? And it was bad. It seemed like a terrible idea. Well, and then until the California National Guard could come in and do their shit, we were able to go back to Camp Inland. Great. Well, so what seemed like a very bad idea, so what's the first thing that rolls out of the asshole in the Oval Office's mouth? Let's bring out the military. It's like, oh, dude, that's a terrible idea.
It's a bad idea.
Ugh. But anyway, but this too shall pass. Dealing with the coronavirus, which it's funny because people are just completely just ignoring that. You don't hear much about it, but man, the people who do care are losing their fucking minds because everybody's ignoring it now. Like, go fuck yourself. We paid attention to that shit for 3 months. Bored. Moving on. We're moving on to the next big thing. It's the protests and the riots now. What other bad shit? Well, volcano / earthquake from from fucking Yellowstone. Oh, and fucking to make matters even worse, Nickelback is putting out a new record.
God damn it!
It's like, well,
and it's the 24-year anniversary of Saint Anger too.
Oui.
God damn! I should have just stayed home today.
Bizarre times in which we live.
I'm risking my life coming out here tonight. And a plague of bugs from the sky?
Yeah. Well, yeah, every year I get a weird thing. It's usually gnats.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's moths in a big way. These little fucks, I don't know. If what you're saying, you think they might be tiny little miniature June bugs right now.
They're moving a little too brisk to be little tiny June bugs.
Yeah, they're like flightless gnats. I don't know what the fuck they are, but I don't know. Hey,
I'm going to meet them in my dreams.
Yeah, we've been fucking talking for a good half hour. Let's go ahead and check in, see what's going on the metal front.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
I think you need to introduce the show.
Oh, it's a Mead Metal MMA podcast. Anyway, well, you clearly knew that. You're the one looking at a screen right now that says what the hell this is. It seems like the pinnacle of folly for me to have to point that out for you.
The acme of foolishness.
So how about a little check-in with LJ to find out what's the lowdown and going down.
Dig it.
And metal for this week.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the metal portion of this week's Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast. I'm your host, LJ, and let's jump into this. Hopefully we have some good picks on this list. I think we do. First up, the band 16. The album is called Dream Squasher. Hailing from Los Angeles is a sludge metal band, 16, and their new album, Dream Squasher. You may be asking yourself, what is sludge? To which I reply in my own meaning, very slow, very heavy metal. Like having congealed mud dumped all over you. It's dope, and I gotta say, I dig it. Next up, we've got The Ghost Inside, with their self-titled album, The Ghost Inside. Straightforward metal at its finest. It reminds me of a watered-down Five Finger Death Punch with a shitty vocalist. At least the screaming is shit. The melodic singing is excellent, but yeah, you can tell they're ripping off newer Five Finger Death Punch stuff. That doesn't make them bad unless you hate Five Finger Death Punch to begin with, but with them being in my top 5 faves, I sort of dig this band. The new album is out today, so check it out. Next up, Powerwolf, Best of the Blessed. Not sure what to qualify them as because it sounds like traditional metal, but it also sounds cool. I'm not sure if they're serious or fucking around. I like the imagery these guys got going on. I mean, blasphemous shit aside, they look cool, but if that's your thing, then these guys are your band. I just don't see them lasting very long. Powerwolf is a cool name, but it seems like one of those band names you pick when your band's fighting over what to call yourselves on the radio and the choices are Power Grid and Wolfbane. Fuck it, Powerwolf! Anyway, they give off a strong Castlevania vibe, and their sound is very power metal-y, but at a reasonable beat per minute. Yeah. Next up we have October Falls, A Fall of an Epoch. Straight out of Finland comes this band, as they describe it, atmospheric / melancholic black metal. In other words, it's a bowl of shite with a cherry on top. It's ordering something expensive and only receiving an empty box. It's an empty experience. The guitars are cool, but the generic blast beats totally ruin it. Then it gets slower and actually sounds really dope as fuck in the medieval for a bit, and then they stick that oily turd right back up your ass with a selfie stick. So for the fact they tried something different and it sounds good, you get an A for effort. I will acknowledge this is probably one black metal album, if not the only, where I didn't skip around until 4 minutes into the first track. On a side note, have you ever seen footage of a black metal audience? They just stand there and watch the show, like no moshing, no headbanging, no fun. The whole point of the genre is literally anti-fun. Like, what is even the point? Anyway, whatever. Next up we have End. The album is called Splinters from an Ever-Changing Face. Black metal, this shit, kind of moving on. Next up, The Rentals. The album is called Q36. Is this band rock or metal? Well, I would say alternative rock. They have their own Topic channel on YouTube, which I believe means they were featured to some extent, but not sure how Topic works. But yeah, they're very soft-sounding band. Like mellow rock. Marshmallow, that is. Sorry, guys. I tried to end on a higher note. Speaking of high notes, Merciful Fate is re-releasing Melissa, Don't Break the Oath, and their self-titled album Merciful Fate. In case you're unfamiliar with Merciful Fate, they're the band that King Diamond is the lead singer of before he fucked off and went solo. Metallica performed a medley named after the band Merciful Fate that contains some sick picks from Merciful Fate's Melissa album, all in a powerful and really iconic medley. The Merciful guitarist is a riff machine for real, so check them out. And also, you might want to pick that up and anything else you haven't. That's it for this week. Looks like 2 weeks out we're going to be doing another podcast. So in the meantime, why don't you get caught up on the rest of the Mead Metal and MMA episodes? Oh, and also buy some metal. And remember, kids, if you're going to sing about Satan, at least make good songs. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Take it away, Kevin and Brandon. It's too bad I quit drinking or I had to partake in some of that there honey liquor.
Always, I think that, it's funny because we're not doing a show next week. I think that guy might be as excited as we are. It's like, oh, fuck, give me a Friday off, huh?
Hey, even the most positive motherfuckers need a break.
Yeah.
To keep that positivity coming.
Right.
And I'm not saying I'm the most positive motherfucker in the world. I'm not saying it at all. But I need a break. Otherwise, I'm just going to be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And just talking about everything that's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
If there wasn't a fight card, we probably wouldn't be doing this.
No, we would have already moved on to the next thing. But yeah,
Do you need a beer?
Let me grab it for you, dude.
Right,
because here's what we have coming up tomorrow. It is a pay-per-view, only the second one since the crazy times began.
That's right, the new normal.
UFC 250.
UFC 250, my friends. We've come to a point where that featherweight title is going to be defended, and the mighty neck tattooed, not a neck beard, he is neck tattooed, Cody Garbrandt trying to rally and get a win. Aljamain Sterling, Corey Sandhagen fighting, which I kind of view as a title eliminator at the bare minimum, even though Jose Aldo and Peter Yan are probably fighting for that bantamweight strap.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing to think that we are now in a time in the UFC where there are potentially 3 belts that are vacant?
Okay, so let's figure out which ones are vacant. 135 and 125 because Cejudo's Pudo. No, or Cejudo.
Pudo.
Yeah.
That's good.
And so those are out.
Potentially John Jones.
Maybe 205 because John Jones says he doesn't want to do any fighting right now or whatever. Mainly because he says he's wanting like boxer money, right?
Yeah.
Well,
like, go box. Go be a boxer.
Well, that's the kind of the problem is the fan base in boxing is 5 times that of the UFC. So they can pay their fucking athletes a stupid amount of money.
What they have going for them is they put the best fighters against the best fighters.
Yeah, which the UFC does not.
They haven't. Well, they have, but they haven't done it in a long fucking time, man. They're looking for money fights, and what do you got to do when you get a money fight? You got to pay a little money to get it going.
Yeah, this is actually one area where I think Conor McGregor might have wrecked the UFC as a promotion, and has lingering effects on impacts on MMA in general. Because the fact is he was able to get that money. Thing is, that guy is selling fights. Conor McGregor put him on a card, whether you like him or not. I'm not going to argue with you.
I'm going to watch Conor fight.
If you want to call him a fucking dumbass and a fucking insider and, whatever name you want to apply to him, it's fine because it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, people are buying his pay-per-views. Every time that guy's on a pay-per-view, they fucking have record numbers every time.
The headline fight was Cerrone, man.
Sure.
Everybody bought it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe not the normal Conor numbers of the old days.
Well, he'd
but
been
that
gone
dude
a
was
little
on
bit.
hot fire. But the humble McGregor still brought in money.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently made like $30 million for that.
That's what John Jones wants. John Jones is wanting, apparently, the numbers are getting thrown around. He's wanting between $15 $20 million to fight Francis Ngannou and go up to what he claims is a super fight at heavyweight, which...
The only way it's a super fight is he's fighting Stipe for the belt. Then you break out the checkbook a little more. But not fucking eight figures, man.
Yeah.
When has John Jones ever brought in that money?
Way back in the day.
And even then,
as soon as he starts getting popped, like, I don't know, everything post USADA.
The day he beat Cormier, which should have been the greatest day of his life, shit went bad.
Oh, yeah.
And hadn't gotten better.
Well, and as soon as the one thing is, I mean, you can maintain the faith of the fans that are out there until you get popped the first time, and you're going to lose a lot of fans in that process. And then when you get popped a second time, well, fuck, man, then you're down to just the weirdos that hang on just because they like to watch you fight. That'd be me, but I know that's kind of a rare. I'm in rare company in that.
But wouldn't you agree that the allure of watching John Jones fight now versus 3 years ago is drastically different?
Very different. Look at his last 2 fights. Actually, 3 out of the last 4 have been very uninspiring.
Thiago Silva, Alves,
Silva, and
fucking Dominic Reyes.
Dominic Reyes. You could make the argument he lost both of those. About 4 fights ago, he fought OSP. And fucking, that went to decision, right?
I still feel like that one, though, was he didn't want to do too much shit to show Cormier because he knew he was going to fight Cormier after that.
Yeah, I guess. But, I mean, but still.
And he went on to decimate Cormier, the John Jones of old.
Right.
Maybe he can just do that against Daniel because he knows Cormier's game inside and out. All these new kids, it's like, ooh, I got to be careful.
I don't know. But I do know that John Jones is frustrated, doesn't think he's getting compensated appropriately, and is asked to be released from the promotion. Now, whether the promotion releases him or not,
You think they pull the trigger on that?
I don't think so.
I hope not, because they'd be fools.
Yeah.
Because
on top
even
of
though
that,
all the other promotions are paused, they will pay for anything UFC shuffles off.
Scott Coker will be rolling out the fucking money that John Jones wants.
Shit.
One time. But the problem is Bellator is not a wealthy fucking promotion. There's not a lot of money behind it. They don't draw the cash that the fucking UFC does. They just don't. It's a smaller promotion. They generally have the UFC cast-offs. It's a rare thing. We've seen it a couple of times where a Bellator fighter goes to UFC, gets destroyed. That's usually the outcome. It's fucking far more commonplace is you got a guy from the UFC gets angry about the money and goes to Bellator, where they roll out the red carpet, pay him pretty richly for the first fight or two.
And you're probably getting a title shot on your first or second fight.
Easily.
Roy McDonald got the royal treatment.
Yep.
They all do. They all get the treatment.
Sure.
Guess what the treatment Bellator guys get when they come to the UFC?
They get destroyed.
Except Alvarez did win a belt. You got to give him that. He beat RDA's ass.
I always forget about Eddie Alvarez because he's such a veteran of the sport that I often overlook the idea that he came in from Bellator. But even so, and then he got just fucking wiped clean by Conor McGregor.
And then went to ONE FC after not really being able to get his ground back after that fight. Gets his ass beat up there.
Struggled mightily.
One championship will put you against a murderer. See Sage Northcutt.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, that's the whole thing. If you're trying to, I don't know why you would, but if you're trying to rank the promotions, and you say, okay, clearly UFC, I'll concede that that's the number one in the land. Number 2 is Bellator. That's not exactly the default move.
Sure.
You need to be checking out ONE Championship if you're kind of a casual fan,
if you're
because I think that they have every bit of parity with the UFC.
Yeah, and if you're talking global audience, they're bigger. They got all of Asia, man.
They're based out of Singapore, which is fucking,
they posted numbers of like online viewers in the millions, and they fucking had the UFC by about 2.5 mil.
Oh yeah,
I think it was like 5.3 to to like 3.2, something like
Well,
that.
it's a huge population base in Asia.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no
But
denying
a
that.
lot of that shit is from the U.S. too.
Right?
I think Mighty Mouse probably brought a few U.S. fans with him.
I'm waiting for one championship to actually break out and do their first fights on American soil. And that was kind of a thing that was kind of going to be lined up. That was in the works right up until the fucking coronavirus shit came up.
Oh, God damn it.
Because, I mean, they'd already had some of their spokespeople already come over, like Misha Tate, right? She's ONE FC.
Yeah, she's an ambassador.
They were doing photo ops with her and with Mighty Mouse and everything else and all this. And it's like, oh, wow. Is one championship going to put in they set in their sights on the U.S.? Apparently they were. One global pandemic later, and, that's off the table.
I think it'll still be on the table, though. And I would really like that because I don't think the UFC would views Bellator as competition at all.
Yeah.
ONE FC, one championship. Sorry, I'm called by their old name.
Yeah.
But they would fucking bring something to the table. It's like, oh, we get to watch Mighty Mouse fight stateside again? Hell yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Might want to go to that.
Right.
Because it's hard to go to Singapore to watch him fight.
Fuck yeah. Or Beijing or wherever they were, Ulaanbaatar or fucking whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, all the different sites that they have across Asia where one championship puts on their shit, that's a completely different audience. Take nothing away from those fighters, man.
No way.
They are rich in talent.
Yeah, and that's all they care about. And they have that fucking great hydration check that they do. You are not cutting weight in a dangerous way.
Yeah.
If they find that you're not hydrating right, they pull you from the fight.
And I think that's the safe way to do it. I mean, you got people over here like Joe Rogan and everybody else trying to figure out ways. It's like they always come out and say, yeah, I'm against the weight cutting. I think that's the worst thing about the sport. But they never offer any real solutions to it.
No,
you
they just let it go on.
I mean, they talk about, well, how about they do like a weigh-in, an aggregate weigh-in where they're weighing in every day for the space of like 8 weeks and then whatever that median weight. Well, then you just get some assholes like, cool, I'm just going to stay fucking day of the fight fucking weight so that way I can dodge the system,
And then I will die.
Yeah, but ONE FC is doing it the fucking smart way because it is.
Yeah.
They can tell if you go over a certain threshold on water content, then they're immediately going to pull you from the card. And
Right.
you don't get to fight. And that means you have $0 coming in.
And I think if you get pulled for weight cut issues, yeah, it affects your paycheck.
Yep. Oh, well, so let's get into talking about we got off on a weird tangent there.
That's
but
all right.
Let's talk about UFC 250. Hit the prelim card. I will admit, this is a shitty card for a pay-per-view, but I'm still going to buy it because it's got its moments.
Yeah, if the fact that it has a title fight on it, it is a pay-per-view card because it's not for the men's flyweight title, which was always on free TV back in the day. But there are some really good fights on here. One fight that I thought was going to get pulled, but it turns out his coach had a false positive.
Oh, that
That
dude.
Ian
Yeah.
Heinisch.
Yeah, Heinisch. It is because it turns out, and they'd even had a backup standing in for that guy. You got to figure that guy's got to be like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Because as soon as it came
He
out, it's
should
like,
still get paid if he's cutting weight. He should still get paid.
No, and I think he will.
Good.
Good. But yeah, they tested, as they do everybody, for the showing up at the Apex Center, and the coach he popped for it. Now the problem is the test for that is not exactly 100%. It's not even 90%. It's about like 80%.
Yeah.
So that means you've got a 20% chance of a false positive. And it turns out that's exactly what happened. So dude's still going to be able to fight because actually you can't say, well, we just can't let that coach show up. You can't let anybody on that team that's been in contact with the person that tests positive. Just like, when we saw Jacare weeks ago for UFC 249, even if it was only just one of his cornermen, they have to pull that whole team because you've been exposed to everybody that's in that corner.
Yeah. And fighters are out of everybody in their camp, they're the ones rarely wearing the mask. Everybody else is.
Right.
They are not.
Well, but here's the whole thing. It goes back to the mask logic. It does nothing to protect you from shit.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be that if you're going to sneeze or cough, hey, it gets caught in that mask and it's not getting blown out into our environment.
Yeah, but I feel like every time if someone coughed and then just starts breathing, you're forcing shit out. Because if you can smell a fart that you rip,
right,
then it's not working good.
That's the problem I have with the mask too. And you're right, because if you are asymptomatic and you're wearing a mask and you're breathing all those fucking germs and everything else and the virus into that mask, yeah, you exhale. Where's it going to go? And the
Down,
mask that
up and out.
the masks that people are wearing are not. I mean, unless you're wearing like an N95, but they aren't. The microns are way too large. So that fucking virus can walk right through there.
Yeah, it's just so everybody else feels better. Fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the fight.
250 prelims.
Ian Heinisch fighting Gerald Meerschaert. Fight's still on.
I do like Meerschaert in this, although I think Heinisch has got an interesting, with that whole thing with the false positive and everything else. That makes a really interesting backstory. But I still think that Gerald Meerschaert's your guy for the favorite in that.
Agreed.
I would have to say Vegas has probably got that guy probably like a minus 150.
God damn, man. You know, the heaviest weight class on here is light heavyweight, and that's in the early prelims.
Wow.
And it's two random dudes.
Well, the
Everything
last
else
card
is-
was pretty heavyweight heavy, right?
Bantamweight, featherweight, and middleweight. That's where this card resides, both on the male and the female side. Cody Stamen fighting Brian Kelleher. I like Brian Kelleher a lot.
Every time I pick that guy, he loses.
Don't pick him then.
Yeah.
Don't pick him this time. Pick the other guy. I want him to win.
Although Kelleher's been on kind of an uptick here lately, I think. So, I could probably get
If
behind
only
that.
there was a machine that could tell me.
If only there
how
was a
he's been
hand
doing.
computer.
He's on a 2-fight win streak.
Yeah.
He knocked out Hunter Azure back in May. Oh, he fought May 13th.
Oh, okay, a couple weeks ago.
I want to talk about a rebound.
Yeah, because he didn't.
Oh, man, we're going to get – this might be the time where we get a guy that's like, oh, he's going to fight like 5 or 6 fucking times.
Yeah. Yeah, I
mean, Cowboy can't do that shit anymore.
not anymore. No, man, I'll get behind Kelleher for that.
Yeah, lost to John Lineker, finish. Lost to Montel Jackson via finish. And then finishes last two, one via KO and one via guillotine. Going Kelleher.
Yeah, once upon a time I would have said, man, this guy's probably a little on the downside of his career, but he's actually had a pretty good resurgence. And if for nothing else, we always see it in MMA, a guy that you start second-guessing him and he starts coming out and he bangs out a couple of victories in a row, and usually in a big way, we might want to start paying attention.
Right.
It's like the Andre Arlovsky and Frank Mir thing a couple of years ago.
Main event of the prelim card, Alex Bruce Leroy Caceres. I fucking hated this guy when I was watching The Ultimate Fighter that he was on.
Yeah.
And he's one of the weird, like, I'm shocked he still has a job in the UFC.
Oh, he's got a horrible record.
But it's one of those where his personality keeps him there. Because let's see, when he lost to Uriah Faber in July of 2014, guy went on to be, let's see, 2-3, 2-5, 3-5, 3-6, 4-6, 4-7, 5-7.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of fights in UFC, and it's just been back and forth.
Yeah.
He's an attraction.
That's about it. And you can't tell me it's not because that Bruce Leroy moniker that he's has.
Yeah.
I mean, Alex Caceres he's interesting, funny at times,
But a top-tier fighter?
flamboyant, and sometimes he'll throw some god awful things once in a while. Once in a while they work. Who knows? But usually I'm used to seeing him on his back and somebody beating the hell out of him.
And usually it's someone on the way up. Chase Hooper doesn't have a Wikipedia page, so I'm going to pick Bruce Leroy.
I think that's the safe pick.
Yeah. I feel like this guy probably worked at the Panda Express down the road. Going on the main card, Eddie Wineland fighting Sean O'Malley, the rainbow-haired man at bantamweight.
I mean, I like Eddie. I really wish Eddie would be able to get a win here, but Eddie his peak years were about 3 years ago.
Until he fought Aldo and got his no, not Aldo. Yeah. Wait a minute. I got to check that out. Barao. It was a Barao fight.
Right. Yeah, got his bell rung there.
He wins one, loses two, wins two, loses two.
Yeah. O'Malley is, he's a cheater, first of all.
A huge cheater with a horrible head of hair and a lot of hype. So much hype for Sean O'Malley.
A lot of people like him. I don't doubt that he's going to win this one because, granted, they are finally putting him up against a real veteran, but it's a veteran who has seen his better days.
Yeah. It's food. It's a slaughter. You're putting the goat out there for the dinosaur to eat.
Yeah, not a fan, but I'm probably going to go O'Malley, and certainly by some kind of a finish.
And O'Malley is undefeated.
Right.
You got 3 fights in the UFC, but you got to give undefeated the respect it deserves, and I think he's going to get another one.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be a big name, and after that, he might get a ranked fighter.
But I mean, aren't there already people saying, well, this guy ought to be really getting a title shot pretty soon at 135?
Yeah, they're named Sean O'Malley.
Yeah.
At welterweight, Neil Magny fighting Anthony Rocco Martin. Hey, Rocco.
Magny is another one of those. That guy was on a huge streak there for a while, got stopped. But he's kind of righted the ship, and he's come back in a big way. I do like Neil Magny in that fight.
That Ponzinibbio fight.
Yeah.
When it was the main event back in he fought November 2018 against Ponzinibbio, got knocked out in the fourth round. Didn't see him again until March of this year.
Yeah. But he looked sharp. He looked like he's back to, being Neil Magny, So I'm all right with that. Neil Magny, by the way, also a training partner for Justin Gaethje. So,
God, it's a hard. I don't know if that's something to brag or just be like, wow, I'm just going to punch you right in the dome and you might drop.
I don't know. I was talking about Rogan a while ago. He had on Justin Gaethje and his coach Trevor Whitman. I don't know if you caught that podcast or not.
No, I didn't. It's tough for me to listen to Rogan podcasts. Even now,
man, I'm with you.
If there's someone on there I want to listen to.
I am with you 100% on that. But the thing is that you got a bunch of empties over there. Eh?
I know. I'm putting the hammer down.
I've
had a couple drinks.
The thing is, though, is Trevor Whitman, man, that guy, he might be one of the best coaches in all of MMA. Because it's not just a matter he's in there training these guys or any of that shit. He also makes the equipment that they use.
Yeah.
I mean, he's trying to get gloves, their MMA gloves, trying to get those approved by the UFC. UFC wants to buy them outright, the rights for those, because it's a whole different system of a glove. It's not.
It's a shit Bellator uses.
It's better. It's better. It's more stable. You actually get padding where the padding's fucking needed, and they actually weigh in at the weight. Apparently, you can go out and grab any, 3 pairs of MMA gloves off a shelf, and all of them will say 8.5 ounces, and not one of them will be 8.5 ounces. They'll all be different weights. There's no weights and measures to it. I mean, and he gets in deep on that. He makes his own shin guards for everybody in his camp. Dude just makes equipment across the board. That's what that guy does. Along with really, really help, finding elite talent and helping them to get to that next level. Justin Gaethje had never been he hadn't thrown a punch in MMA until Trevor Whitman picked him up and brought him into his camp. And now look at Justin Gaethje's striking skills now.
And the ability to maybe not have to wear so much fucking damage.
Man. And also he was Trevor Whitman's coach for none other than Rose Namajunas. Again, also someone that never really threw punches, like, effectively. And now look at her. I mean, she lays people out. I mean, that guy, you got to fucking give credit where credit is due, is that he's turning out murderers out of that camp. People who can lay you out in one shot.
Let's see what we got coming up after that. Aljamain Sterling, Corey Sandhagen fighting.
That one might be the most boring one on the card. On the main card.
It's striker versus grappler.
Yeah.
It's the ancient fucking formula.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a good fight, though. I mean, Corey Sandhagen's a little bit on the boring side anyway.
Yeah, but Aljamain Sterling,
his wrestling is fucking just it's not great. It's serviceable. He thinks it's something fantastic. I like his people in his corner better than I like him.
And he is one of the few fighter analysis combo guys that ESPN uses that I really enjoy hearing his opinion about shit.
Well, he's got really smart coaches. I like Ray Longo. I like Matt Serra. Those two guys, I mean, I still don't know why they don't have a reality show, but
the Lloyd and Harry of the era.
I think the biggest thing he's got going for him is his coaching.
Yeah.
Having said that, I like Aljamain Sterling by a really
I'm going Aljamain.
A really boring decision, I think. Yeah. Now, I would love to be wrong. I'd love it if he comes out and finishes or gets finished real fast.
Sandhagen 12-1, dude.
Yeah.
But I mean, lost in UFC yet.
Yeah, but he doesn't have that thunder in the hands, I mean, but
it'll go the distance.
He's a good striker,
I think it'll be a little more entertaining than you think. I hope
I'm wrong.
I hope I'm right on that. And the co-main, which is another 135 fight, and I feel like the winner of the Sterling Sandhagen fight may fight the winner of the Assunção Garbrandt fight.
Right.
And the winner of that goes on to fight whoever wins between Aldo and Jan.
Which Cody Garbrandt we getting? The pre-TJ Garbrandt, or are we getting the post-TJ Garbrandt?
You're getting the fucking neck-tattooed Garbrandt that you get every time. He hasn't changed. It's just he has no chin now.
He looked great against Dominic Cruz.
Yeah. But then Dillashaw beat the shit out of him. Twice.
Yeah.
And he hasn't not had his ass beat since then. He has worn so much damage that you just so much as touch that chin and you're done. He beats Cruz. He makes Cruz look like a fucking tool.
Yeah.
Like he's never fought the MMA before.
Right.
And then he gets beat by Dillashaw twice and Pedro Munoz knocks him out. All finishes.
That's a pretty good point. Well, if Garbrandt can keep from getting hit,
I don't think he can.
Right.
He chin up and fucking just going and throwing.
Well, he's a wrestler that obviously is converted to a striker, and because he's got that goofy looking overhand right that
he has more faith in his hand power than he has in his ability to wear a shot. Because I feel like you always have to fucking feel like, how much can I wear?
Oh no, I mean,
how many times can I get hit before even I'm like, oh shit, I need to start doing.
How often
something.
do we hear somebody say, "Yeah, it's kind of want just to feel how much power he had"? I mean,
and the problem is Garbrandt will do that and find out, oh, that's a lot of power because now I'm snoring and my eyes are going in various directions.
Yeah,
and I look like an idiot because my neck tattoo is dumb.
He's been out.
Find me, bitch! I dare you.
He's been out a long time, and I think probably for. I think there are probably reasons for that, and I think those reasons are nothing but positive. I'll go Cody Garbrandt by probably some kind of a late finish in the third.
He was on the show. He hasn't fought since March of last year. It's been over a year. Before that, it was August 2018 when he fought Dillashaw again.
Right.
That guy, I don't even know if I want to be proven wrong in this. I feel like it's pretty solid. He's gone. I think Ansastiao is going to beat his ass. Put him to sleep. And we're going to say goodbye to Cody because that'll be 4 in a row.
Yeah.
In a row.
Well, if he gets beat spectacularly, I think you're absolutely right.
He doesn't know how to fucking go the distance.
I think he'll figure out a way to get it done in the late in the third, I think.
I hope you're right. Because that dude's striking was top-notch for about 6 months.
It's a little wacky, but yeah.
And then the wackiness, he couldn't protect his shit, and then he just started eating shit.
All right.
Shit a lot there. The main event, we got ourselves a women's featherweight title fight. Amanda Nunes defending that belt for the first time since she won it.
It won 45?
Yeah. Okay. Fighting Felicia Spencer.
Felicia Spencer, right, the Canadian. Yeah.
Who got her ass beat by Cyborg before Cyborg fought Nunes.
I'm not a fan of Spencer, and especially because of the fact I think Amanda Nunes, a lot of people don't like her. I don't know what's not to like about her because she's fucking hilarious. She has a great personality.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
If you don't like her because she's Brazilian, all right, I kind of get that because they can be a bit of a pain in the ass a little bit.
Coming from you.
They're a little gregarious at times, I guess you could say. But I like her. I don't know why she's not in the top 3 pound for pound.
That's because they have a women's pound for pound now. And she's number 1.
All right.
And the funny thing is, Weili Zhang, or Zhang Weili, however you want to say it now. I swear they were saying it Weili Zhang.
Right.
Is number 2. I disagree with that. Shevchenko should be number 2.
The argument could be made, man, for each one of them at 115, 125, 135/45. You're not wrong as long as those 3 are in the top 3.
I'm hoping that when Nunes beats Felicia in the second round via
like
knockout,
the old bye Felicia.
God damn, I want to watch Friday now. I have a feeling that, and after Shevchenko beats, and I hate saying it, Calderwood. I love me Joanne Calderwood, but I think she's up for a murder.
Likely.
That's when you get the Nunes rematch. I know that Shevchenko didn't win the first 2. That second one, arguments could be made.
Oh, no, I think she won that second one. I think that they robbed her blind.
First fight, she lost. Totally. Second fight, arguments could be made. Third fight, I think, goes a lot different, man.
Do you think we'll have the first-time champ if fucking Nunes gets it done? Like, if she gets it done against Spencer and then makes that
you
cut.
Think she's going to make 125?
Yeah,
I think Shevchenko's bumping up to 135. She's going to be champ.
Yeah, you might be right. Because once
Shevchenko started at bantamweight.
once it got out of my mouth, it didn't sound right.
As soon as they had a flyweight division, that's just like, oh, that's my natural fighting weight.
Yeah.
Let's go do that. And boy, has it worked out.
God, but the allure of trying to drop down to 125 to get 3 fucking titles at one time, that's got to be there. I don't know if she can do it,
I think it's easier to bump up in weight to do that than bump down.
Absolutely.
Especially, with the ladies' divisions being so small.
Yeah. Let's get the picks, sir. Picks. What you drinking?
I think I'm going to have my 4th tall boy after we're done here.
Yeah, we've been skinning these things pretty regular here today.
They are off. Ha!
All right. Let's see. What do we have? What you listening to?
Let's see. Spirit of Drift put out, they did something for Metal Injection, their Slay at Home Festival they did. It's finally out there on Metal Injection's YouTube page, just their performance. Highly recommend it. It's 2 songs.
Yeah. Paul Bear's Redux of Ashes, I dig.
That one is a weird mood setter, man.
Oh, yeah. You got to be in the right mood for it, man.
I'd put that on a playlist if I was, like, drinking shroom tea or something.
Ah, there you go. And then picks on fights.
Manny Nunes wins by rear naked choke instead of a knockout.
I got Brian Kelleher actually with a flash knockout 15 seconds in.
Damn. Wow. So you think he's going to be getting $50K tomorrow?
I think so.
I hope so. I hope he does well.
All right. Hey, Dope Smoker. I don't know what that's about. They dropped a new one today, right? The album is Zeroin. Heroin, except with a Z here. I don't know. Anyway, check it out. Hey, we're not back next week.
No,
we're gonna skip
not.
a week. We'll be back in 2 weeks. See you assholes then. In the meantime,
let's go get drunk, man.